Hello, this is Courage Anakweze, Mama Corey 58, the Project Me Mama. Life and Living this week is talking about motherhood, the surrender of self. We looked at motherhood from the angle of surrendering yourself for your children. And we also said that even though you surrender yourself for your children, you at a certain point in your life, recover yourself again. And the journey of motherhood is very interesting because it helps you to recreate yourself. Today, we want to look at preparation for motherhood. How do we prepare for this job of motherhood? Do we actually prepare? I want to take my life, for example. I really don't think before I became pregnant that I gave it much thought. I really don't think I sat down, I had preparation of what motherhood was going to be for me. But the moment I became pregnant, it became important for me to prepare. But today, I'm looking at it from before you even get married. Because at the time I started to prepare, it wasn't a time to start preparing, So preparation for motherhood should start far before you become a mother. While you are yet thinking of getting married, it's time to think of what kind of child do you want to raise. Why is that necessary? It gives you a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to look at life examples around you. So today we're talking about the elimination process in the preparation for motherhood. What do I mean? Now, because many people really do not know what they are up against, what they really want. Some people do, but so many people don't. And so if you are in that bracket of you don't know, elimination process is a good way to start. So let us assume that you are in your last level in the university as a woman, as a man. You are thinking you will be a mother someday, you will get married someday. It's time to begin to think about it once in a while. I'll give an example of how that can be done. Just have a book, a journal that you title Motherhood, for instance. Just have that journal you titled Motherhood. This is your motherhood journey. You begin to document. Maybe you went to a party. You saw a child well behaved. You looked at the comportment of the child. You looked at certain things, the relationship between the child and the mother, why they were seated there. That can give you some idea. You get home, what you noted, maybe one thing you noted about the child, how respectful and how responsible the child seemed. You can put those two items down. Maybe you also went to the supermarket, and while you were at the store, you saw a child misbehaving terribly, throwing tantrums. That's an elimination process. When you get home, it goes on your elimination list. You now begin to think, why was that child behaving the way it was behaving in that supermarket? What did the mother not do? What would I have done differently? That's what I'm looking at today. So around you, your neighborhood, your neighbors, how they are raising their children, the mothers, how they're talking to their children. Every day you are sitting in your room, you are hearing the mother scream, shout at the child. Who is there? What is that? You people should sit down. Do you want to keep me in this house? You are wondering, do I want to be such a mother? How do I want to talk to my children when I have them? This is the time to eliminate what you don't want. It's a time to look, check around your neighborhood, check around your family members, watch people, observe, and document. This documentation is not a serious thing, no. It's not heavy academic documentation. No, just here and there. Something interesting, put it down. You observe something nice, put it down. Something unpleasant, put it down. It's going into your elimination list. So that's a first way to prepare. You also need to begin to think of who you are as a person. When you begin to think of raising a child, you also begin to think of who you are. Do you want to raise a child who is like you? Or do you want to raise a child who is different? So if you want to raise a child who is like you, put down your reasons. A child that looks like you. If you don't want to raise a child that looks like you, then why? It then means that there are certain things in your life that you do not like, and you don't want them in your child. Put them down. It's not a judgment time. It's a preparation time. When you have ample time to prepare, you have a lot of things. You can even read up books. This is not, it's not an intense situation yet. It is just that it comes every now and then. You are preparing your heart to receive a child. Therefore, it becomes clearer why you want to be a mother. It becomes clearer why you want to raise a child. Then, in praying for this child, you have clarity. You also have clarity on what to do about your life. I remember a book I read, The Praying Mother by Stormy. I can't remember her other name. She talked about how she prayed for her children. One particular thing she said in one of her books, I think a later book, was how she prayed for her son's wife, her daughter-in-law. The child was still very young when she was doing this prayer. So there is need for preparation. You can't over-prepare, but it is important that you prepare. So that's one. You also begin to think of what kind of education do you want your child to have? That helps you to reflect on your own learning and the kind of school that you went to. You are just thinking broadly, and you are not in any heat at this point. You are not running against time. You just have all of the time in your hand to prepare. So you are thinking of school. You are thinking of church environment. What kind of church do I want my child to grow up in? What do I want my child to learn about God? Because you are doing this far ahead of time, you see you can do a whole lot. What kind of friends or families do I want my child to engage with? You are looking at that. How do I want my child to respond to family setting? You are thinking of these things. So you know exactly what you are looking for far before you even get married. And when you get married and you are pregnant, it's time now to begin to speak to your child. Do you know that your child hears you from the womb, hears your voice, hears you when you speak? So because for a while you've had time to think about childbearing, motherhood, and everything, when you become pregnant, the whole experience will become pleasurable because there is a lot of preparation before that time. There's no fire brigade approach at this time. So you also begin to talk to your child. You also begin to look at all of the things that you have looked at before, now in a deeper way. You are looking at it. So there is a need to prepare for motherhood because it's a journey that doesn't have an end until death do us part. That is the journey of motherhood. It doesn't have an end. You can't say, oh, my children are grown now, I'm no longer their mother. When they grow, your role will change. At every time as the children are growing, your roles are changing as they are changing. So You always will be a mother. So you need to prepare. It's a journey that needs a roadmap. It's a journey that needs a compass. It's a journey that needs you to have your toolkit ready with you. So, motherhood is pleasurable. Motherhood is tasky. But there is a reward. And because there is a reward, you need to prepare. There is need to prepare for motherhood. Have a fantastic day thinking about preparation. Preparation is key. We need to prepare.